What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we are back with another new look rebuild, as today we're going to be doing the new look Houston Rockets. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this video as it helps push it out to the YouTube algorithm. So thank you guys for that, and subscribe if you're new to the channel, man. We're trying to get to 30,000 subs as soon as possible, so thank you guys for that. You guys know I've been grinding over here, so really appreciate the support. But regardless, the Houston Rockets are one of those teams I think I'm going to try to watch a lot this year. They're going to be very, very fun and exciting. You have Kevin Porter Jr., Jabari Smith Jr., and Jalen Green. Can't complain too much about that. You have Eric Gordon still on the roster, who I assume will probably be a heavy trade deadline candidate. So I think we definitely need to stop at the trade deadline in order to maybe move on from him. You have Şengün at the center, Kenyon Martin Jr., who requested a trade in the offseason, but nothing ever came of that. Josh Christopher, a lot of things to be excited about. And then Tari Eason and Ty Washington, of course, as well. So let's just go straight to player progression. Not going to waste any time. We're not going to do anything to start things off. Jalen Green's up to an 85. I want to go ahead and just simply build around Jabari, maybe Kevin Porter Jr., and Jalen Green. For sure, Jalen Green, Şengün, and Jabari, for sure. Those three guys, like 100%, are going to be my guys going forward. But as far as like Kevin Porter Jr. is concerned, I know there's definitely some doubt about him within the Houston Rockets organization, but we'll see. So 9-man rotation of KPJ, Jalen Green, Jae'Sean Tate, Jabari, and then Şengün, which I do like. Josh Christopher at the 6-man, Kenyon Martin, Eric Gordon, and then Garrison Matthews. So I'm feeling good about that. The only thing I'm not feeling great about is Tari Eason or Washington not getting minutes this year. So I kind of want to fix that. So we're probably going to have to run a 10-man rotation and then have those two play these last couple of minutes. So I'm going to have Tari Eason take over for Garrison Matthews. No disrespect to Matthews, but I'd just rather have Eason play. And then same thing for kind of like Garuba. I'm going to put Washington over Garuba just because I want to see these guys get some minutes in this rotation. And then we're going to probably, like I said, flip Eric Gordon at the trade deadline, kind of fix this up a little bit and see what we can get at the trade deadline. Maybe get a young piece out of Eric Gordon. Who knows? But we're going to still be this year. Shot tendencies, we have Jalen Green is a 75, which I think should be much higher than that, especially coming to a sophomore year. Jabari has an 80 as a rookie is fine. Kevin Porter Jr., 74, I guess, is not too bad. And then Şengün is fine as well. So I'm going to leave that all the way it is. And the Eric Gordon, if you want to take some shots this year so you can up your trade value, by all means, go ahead. Go fire in all cylinders. But I'm going to simulate to the end of the trade deadline, or simulate to the trade deadline. I'm going to see if we have some extensions we could give out. Probably not. And then we're going to try to trade Eric Gordon because I just think makes all the sense in the world to get rid of him this year if we can. So at the end of the season, Luka Doncic wins MVP. Chet's your Rookie of the Year. Sean Highland, 6-man. Giannis Defensive Player. Chris Ver's your most approved in Houston, which is actually really cool to see. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but he gets 15 points per game as a 6-man. So I did not trade Eric Gordon. I did stop at the trade deadline, looked at some offers, and there literally just wasn't anything good. Like, I could have taken a second and then some salary, but it wasn't really worth it. We could just decline Eric Gordon's team option and be off his money this year, this offseason. So decided not to trade Eric Gordon at the trade deadline. I think in real life, the Houston Rockets should definitely try to if they can and get a pick for him if possible. But we had 18 from Jalen Green, 16 from Jabari, and then 15.5 from Josh Christopher, 14.5 from Kevin Porter Jr. One thing we have to be excited about, though, is we did suck, which is good because we are currently 21-61, which is best for the worst record. So, hey, if we can find a way to win the #1 overall pick right now, get the Wembanyama sweepstakes in our back pocket, sign me up for that. If we can draft Scooter Henderson, sign me up for that. I'm going to watch the draft lottery and see if we can get lucky. So 76ers go on to win the championship. That's what you get for trading DeAnthony Melton to Philadelphia. Memphis, I don't know if that really mattered. But player retirements, Carmelo retires in Minnesota. Al Horford retires in Boston. Jeff Green retiring in Denver. So we all know what we're here for. It is the draft lottery. So we are projected the #1 overall pick. It says the Jazz via Houston. I'm assuming my pick is protected. I'm hoping. If it's not, I'm literally just so upset right now. But let's just watch this whole thing and make sure we get the #1 overall pick. If we can stay at #1 and get this pick, I will be greatly forever appreciated or forever happy. But why do the Jazz have my pick? I really have to think about that one. What did the Jazz and Rockets do that makes that happen? I don't even know, to be honest with you. Like, who used to play for the Jazz that got traded to Houston? I can't even think of anything. But maybe someone can remind me down in the comment section below, or maybe it'll click in my head in a second. But so far, so good. No surprises yet. So that is good. That's a good sign for us. If no one can leapfrog in the top 4, that's a good thing for us. But I noticed usually when I projected #1, we fall to like 5. Usually that's how it goes. I would be happy with just having #1 or #2. But obviously, I would love #1. I mean, I love Şengün, but if we can get Wembanyama here and have Şengün off the bench, That would be pretty nice. And number 8, we have the Warriors, which is crazy to me, but they are going to stand number 8. So far, so good for us. It is a great sign that we're seeing right now. Number 7 from the Sacramento Kings is going to be them. Okay, so far, so good. So nobody's jumped up yet, which is good. Wizards, stay at 6, please. Should be golden. Keep the order the same. Boom. Or at least guaranteed a top 5. And I think that means we're going to be top 3, unless the Pelicans find a way to jump in here. Let's see. That is going to be... Nope. Okay, so we're guaranteed top 4, which is amazing. If we can stay at number 1, I'll be super happy. Hornets number 4 is going to go to the Jazz. Is that our pick? No. Okay, that's good. I was about to say. Number 3. Let's see what number 3 is. We have a top 3 pick here, and it's projected to be the Hornets at number 3. It is the Magic. Okay, so we are guaranteed 2 or 1. Give me the number 1 overall pick. Come on, baby. Charlotte Hornets get number 2. Can we have number 1? Yes, we do. And just like that, we have won the Wembanyama sweepstakes, and number 1 is going to go to us. Let's freaking go. We get to draft Victor Wembanyama in this Houston lineup. That is amazing. You really can't script that any better. Let's go, baby. And let's go, man. Let's freaking go. We also have the 23rd pick from the Milwaukee Bucks. What is that from is that from the PJ Tucker trade? I'm not even sure what trade that's from. Regardless, though, we get Wembanyama. We got to hire Steven because I don't think he deserves to be fired or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and snag him back. Be our head coach still. We're kind of building something here. And then we're going to be drafting Victor Wembanyama. No questions asked, for sure. So here we are on draft night. All of our rookies are still under contract. We have number 1 and number 23. So we get to add 2 more players this. You guys already know who we're adding. Let me make sure I have the draft class loaded. That way I don't screw this up because we're going to be getting Victor Wembanyama with the number 1 overall pick. No questions asked. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm so happy that we won the draft lottery. That's so awesome. So we sucked, and now we get Wembanyama be our brand new center here in Houston. Shout out to Şengün, but you're probably going to be the 6th man off the bench. And then we could low-key take a chance on Emoni Bates here, number 23. I know he's fallen a lot in real life because of playing at Memphis or something like that. I don't know the full story, but I know something didn't go right. And then you got Brandon Miller also to take on Alabama. But I'll go ahead and take the name and Emoni Bates and welcome him to the Houston Rockets. So just like that, we get Wembanyama and Emoni Bates out of this draft, which is the 2 biggest names I would say out of this draft for sure. So we'll go ahead and welcome both of them in. Welcome to Houston, my friend. Player options, we got Josh Green, Şengün, or Jalen Green, not Josh Green, Şengün, Josh Christopher, Kenyon Martin. You have Eric Gordon, Garrison Matthews, which I'm going to go ahead and decline Eric Gordon, I think, for sure. And then Garrison Matthews, I mean, we can just accept him, I would assume. Let's accept him. And David Nwaba will go ahead and decline as well. Let him go, play for a contending team. Kevin Porter Jr. is a free agent. Again, I don't know how sold the Rockets are on him. Like, I like Kevin Porter Jr. a lot in real life, but I feel like there's been some doubt about him. So I'm not really sure what the Rockets plan on doing with him going forward. But we have Washington at the point guard, which I don't plan on like having him be the starter going forward. You have Jalen Green, Josh Christopher, Jae'Sean Tate, Garrison Matthews, and Emoni Bates. I honestly think I would rather see Emoni Bates get some minutes over Matthews this year. You have Kenyon Martin, Jabari, and Tari Eason. So Kenyon Martin is somebody that has, like I said, requested a trade in the past. So I don't know what we're going to do with him. And then Şengün is going to be backing up Wembanyama, which is fantastic. So all we really need to do is re-sign Kevin Porter Jr. And then I guess if there's a trade to be made, we can make it. But I think I'm okay with what we have right now. I mean, we could go out there and sign a different point guard. We have the money to go get Kyrie Irving or something like that. I guess we want to get super aggressive here and have like Tyler Hero be our new point guard in Houston. But I kind of want to just, build organically. I kind of like what we're doing right now. We got Kevin Porter Jr. from the Cavaliers, if I remember correctly, for like the cheapest you could get him. So I'm going to just wait and give him a contract offer. Like I said, I don't know what the Rockets are going to do with him in real life, but I like him a lot. I want to keep him here next to Jalen Green. I like them as a backcourt together. So I'm going to keep Kevin Porter Jr. And he's not even that expensive. So I'm going to give him a 5-year deal to keep him as my point guard going forward. So now that's going to be my backcourt going forward. And I'm not going to sign anybody else because I really love my lineup, how it looks now. So I want to build organically here with Houston as we just got Wembanyama. So you're just adding more talent to the draft. Jabari Smith Jr. is up. Jalen Green is up. Kevin Porter Jr. is up. Everyone is developing, which is fantastic. The one thing I don't like about this roster is Jabari, Paulo, and Chet don't develop all that well. So I'm not going to rely on them to be like super good for us, unfortunately. So Wembanyama is probably going to be leapfrogging Jabari. But regardless, having them as a front court is super fun and super exciting. So I think the simulation should hopefully be a little bit better this next season, and we'll see how it goes. So I do want to look at the rotation together, because I do want to make sure I have the players playing that I want to play. So if we take a look at what we got going on, so 9-man rotation, I think this year, we have Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Jayshawn Tate, Jabari Smith Jr., Wembanyama, Şengün as a 6-man, which I feel, I mean, having Şengün off your bench is amazing. Josh Christopher, Kenyon Martin Jr., and then Garuba. But I honestly want to play... See, we have Washington, Tari Eason, and Amani Bates. None of them are getting minutes. I think I want to play Tari Eason over Garuba, to be honest with you. And then maybe we should run a 10-man rotation, so we should at least get either Washington or Bates in here. Yeah, we're a young team. Let's run a 10-man rotation. I don't see why we don't. So I'm going to have Tari Eason in over Garuba, and then I'll probably have Washington in over the other guy. And then Kenyon Martin Jr. might be on the way out next year, and Amani Bates could take his spot. I don't know. We'll see how we go, what we decide to do. So I'm going to do that. A lot of guys that are not getting minutes, but I feel like I want to get these guys minutes. So that is what we're going to roll with this year. Again, I don't expect to do like anything crazy. If we can be decent, that's fine. If we can be good, sure. But I just want to see how Wembanyama Jabari front court does this year with Jalen Green attached to him as well. Maybe we're a play-in team. Maybe we're a playoff team. We'll see what happens. MVP is going to go to Luka Doncic again this year. You got Victor Wembanyama winning Rookie of the Year for us here in Houston, of course. We love the addition of him to this team, and he definitely showed out for us. Christian Wood, 6-man in Memphis. Kind of like that for the Grizzlies. Giannis, defensive player. Tyler Hero, most improved in Miami, so he had a great year. Then Ime Udoka, Jacob Park. But one thing that is awesome for us, I'm wondering if we have any All-NBA members. Probably don't, right? Yeah, nothing like that. All defense first team, all defense second team. We did get Wembanyama, of course, on all rookie first team. But we also got the 5th seed in the Western Conference. So we are back in the playoff contention with this brand new roster we kind of have formed in Houston, which is amazing. 26 from Jalen Green leading the way. So he is out here balling now in his 3rd year. He's going to be up for an extension soon. He's going to definitely get paid a lot of money. Shout out to Jalen Green. 16 from Kevin Porter Jr. as his backcourt mate, 16 and 7. Again, I don't know the hate on Kevin Porter Jr. If you're a Houston Rockets fan, let me know what you guys feel about him. Jabari with 16, so up to an 84 overall W, and Wembanyama up to an 84 at 14 points per game. Christopher's been really amazing off the bench, and Şengün also amazing off the bench. So just these 6 guys right here is my foundation going forward, and then we can find another way to plug in even more guys. So I really love this lineup right now. Like, I'm super excited about how this is looking, but now we get the Memphis Grizzlies in round 1. Like, I'm not expecting to win a championship this year or anything like that, so I'm just going to click simulate current round. We're running 10 players. Maybe we should run 9. Not that it really matters anymore because we're kind of down in the playoffs, but we'll run 9, and hey, maybe we come back. Who knows? Now we lose in 5. Okay, so the Blazers upset the Timberwolves, which is crazy, and then the Grizzlies in Portland, Trailblazers. But we are still on the patient route, and we get the Atlanta Hawks going on to beat the Grizzlies. That would actually be low-key an amazing finals. Ja versus Trey. Sign me up for that for a 7-game series. Okay, player retirements. LeBron James. Wow, that is a plethora of retirements. You got Kevin Love, Batum retiring, McGee retiring, Brook Lopez, Marcus Morris, Ish Smith, DeAndre Jordan, LeBron, Chris Paul, Kyle Lowry. That is a roster of retirements there. But let's go to the draft lottery. I don't think we might have a lottery pick this year, actually, because of the Nets pick, right? So yeah, number 7 via the Nets. I don't know if I want to sit here and watch this entire lottery again. So let me just skip it. If we could find a way to get lucky and the Nets get into the top 4 or something, that'd be wild. And lottery luck has been on my side today, baby. We get the number 2 overall pick in this draft, which is literally insane, which is just like way too much. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. So as far as our pick is concerned, I guess it goes to the Thunder this year, which I don't even know if that's the case. I'm not going to go research it because I feel good at just about having the 2nd pick. Having a late pick is just another guy I'm going to have to worry about playing minutes. So with the 2nd overall pick, I have no idea who to even draft here. So right now, as it sits currently, we have Kevin Porter Jr. at the point guard going forward. But if we have the 2nd, I mean, I guess we could look at it like a better small forward maybe to take over Jayshawn Tate and then Amani Bates. I don't know. Or point guard. Either way. So 2nd overall pick. I don't know. What is this draft again? This is the Bronny James draft, right? So you have Mikey Williams, Kwame Evans. Okay, so it's DJ Wagner, Elijah Fisher, Bronny James, Cody Kelly, Robert Dillingham, and then you got like Kwame Evans Jr. I don't even know how good some of these guys are. Latrell Sprewell. I'm kind of looking in the point guard, so DJ Wagner. I don't know. What I mean, we could take whatever we want here essentially. So, or do we want to get like weird and trade this pick? I don't know. Probably not, right? We don't want to get that weird. Like, I think we should just still build through the draft organically. The Rockets or the Nets give us the 2nd overall pick as a parting gift for the James Harden trade, which we feel fantastic about. Unless if we can find a way to land LaMelo Ball and steal LaMelo from Charlotte, sure. Sign me up for that. I would be okay with that. But, I mean, I think I'm just going to draft, man. Like, I could go out here and make a trade, but I just love the idea of just building this team essentially through the draft. So, let's just jump in here and just see what we're going to get at number 2 overall. So, the Magic are going to be taking DJ Wagner, which means I could take Bronny James, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to go ahead and pass on him. And then I'm going to draft whoever I think is the best player to take after, I guess. Mikey Williams, I think, is the other guy that's ceiling is Hall of Fame, floor is DeMar DeRozan. I mean, that's a pretty good ceiling to have. So I'm going to go ahead and just take Mikey Williams here with the 2nd overall pick. And then we have a 2nd round pick. Not sure it's really going to matter. But, yeah, honestly, I'll just take whatever is here. It doesn't matter. So we have a couple more seconds, but I'm going to head out. So 83 overall, Mikey Williams headed to the Houston Rockets. The man is 6'5". So not really sure what this is going to mean for Kevin Porter Jr. We just gave him a long-term contract, but I don't think I could have just sat there and passed up. I'm not even going to sign my 2nd rounders, which is I know is weird, but I just like the roster I have right now, and I don't really have to cut anybody. I'm going to decline Garrison Matthews this year just because I don't think there's going to be enough minutes for him to go around. Qualifying offers Kenyon Martin. If he doesn't come back, it's not going to hurt my feelings too much. And then we could have signed LaMelo Ball as well, but I'm not going to do that. I want to continue to just, build through this draft, and we've done that. So Kevin Porter Jr. and Ty Washington. You have Mikey Williams and Jalen Green, which I think I'm going to go ahead and move Mikey Williams to point guard right now because I don't see how I could play him at the 2. Got Jalen Green there. So Mikey Williams is going to play some point guard for us. I don't know how good of a player he is at doing that, but he'll be there at 6'5". I like him there. So Mikey Williams maybe takes over for Kevin Porter Jr. here. I'm not sure. Do we trade Kevin Porter Jr. here after having such a good year and get some picks for him and just roll with Mikey Williams? Kind of like a Lonzo Ball, D'Angelo Russell situation, if you guys remember that. I think we do that. Unless we want to play Kevin Porter Jr. at a small forward. No disrespect to KPJ whatsoever, but I mean, we came away with Mikey Williams, who's an 82 overall already. So I think we're going to make a trade and get a small forward or something because I just don't really see what else we could do here. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm trading Kevin Porter Jr. over to the New York Knicks for this Milwaukee unprotected and a top 3 protected pick. Kevin Porter Jr. is someone that's done a great job for us, but we just drafted Mikey Williams, and I just feel like it's going to be a logjam. So I'm going to go ahead and make this trade right here. Send him over to the New York Knicks, and Kevin Porter Jr. is going to be a New York Knick, and we're rolling with Mikey Williams, who is already an 82 overall, and I'm sure he's going to be just fantastic. So that also gives us enough money to go for a certain player in free agency, which is what I wanted to do. And that man is going to be none other than, you guessed it, Saddiq Bey is going to be my guy I go after in free agency to bring him to Houston, be my brand new small forward, my brand new 3-and-D small forward, 25-year-old small forward. Can the Pistons? They do not match. And just like that, we have Saddiq Bey as our brand new small forward in Houston, and we have built ourselves a essential good lineup here in Houston. So I hate that we traded Kevin Porter Jr., but at the same time, I mean, feel like we kind of had to do it. So now we have Jalen Green, Wembanyama, Saddiq Bey, Jabari Smith Jr., Şengün. Mikey Williams is going down, which sucks. Christopher, is he upset right now? No, he's upbeat, not upset. Kenyon Martin. So yeah, this lineup right now, I'm feeling pretty good about. We just got the 5th seed in the West. I could have kept Kevin Porter Jr. off the bench, don't get me wrong, but I feel like he was so good that I didn't want him to come off the bench. I wanted him to get an opportunity somewhere else. So I don't know if he'll be coming off the bench for the Knicks or not. They probably will have him off the bench, backing up Jalen Brunson, I assume. But regardless, I'm not worried about that too much. And this is your brand new starting 5 in Houston. So 9-man rotation: Mikey Williams, Jalen Green, Saddiq Bey, Jabari, Wembanyama, Şengün, Christopher, Kenyon Martin, and Jae'Sean Tate. So Tari Eason and Ty Washington are still not getting minutes, and they still haven't gone up in overall too much at all. So at this point, I don't know if I can justify putting them in anymore. I'm going to roll with what we have out here for now. And can we be a 4-star somewhere? We cannot, which I'm surprised by. But we're going to celebrate this season with Saddiq Bey and Mike Williams joining this lineup and seeing if this team could be a contender in the West this year. So Luka, once again, is your MVP. What a shocker, but it should be this man, Jalen Green. I'm not going to actually do that. But Jalen Green, as you can see, averaged 30 points per game. So MVP goes to Luka. Bronny James wins Rookie of the Year in Utah. I did pass on him, but I wanted to change it up and go Michael Williams this time. Harden, 6-man in San Antonio, which is wild. Giannis, Defensive Player of the Year. Paulo, most improved in Orlando. And then Steven is your Coach of the Year. As we went 61 and 21. So this roster put it all together. I do want to keep, I want to take a look at Kevin Porter Jr. in New York as well to kind of see how they're doing. But did Jalen Green make an All-NBA team? Because I feel like he should have, averaging 30, and he did not, which is so crazy to me. All defensive first team and all defensive second team. We had Michael Williams making it, and he averaged 18 points per game. So yeah, I mean, I kind of had to move on, I feel like, from Kevin Porter Jr. And the Knicks are in the play-in tournament. So shout out to the Knicks. But we are the first seed in the Western Conference. So player stats, 30 from Jalen Green, 18 from Mikey Williams. That's your brand new backcourt going forward. 15.5 from Jabari, 14.5 from Wembanyama, and then also Christopher. 12 from Şengün, 12 from Sadiq Bey as my brand new 3-and-D small forward. We did really good. Now, can we put it all together and win a championship? We get the Mavericks, who reunited Luka and Porzingis again, which is kind of funny. Did they just get him back like on the same contract? It's literally like the same contract he was on. They got rid of him for a reason. They brought him right back. But if we find a way to lose to this Mavericks team, I'm going to be super upset. Somebody current round. Please don't lose to the 8th seed, man. Like, why is the 8th seed, for me, the scariest thing on earth? I don't get it. 8-man rotation. Win game 6, please. Okay. Can we win game 7? Yes, we can. Wow, that was literally just so crazy to me that we almost lost them. But now we get the Thunder. Two teams that have been rebuilding for quite some time lately. You got Rockets and Thunder. Two teams that were just in the top 3 in the lottery. Game 1, up 1-0. I literally just want to win a championship this year. We almost lost to the Mavericks. We're up 3-1 on the Thunder. We beat them in 6, please. Yes, we do. We're on to the finals to play the Lakers, who have DeJounte Murray and Anthony Davis and McDaniels. This team is not better than me. And for some whatever reason, I feel like the Lakers always find a way to beat me. So if this team finds a way to beat me, I am going to be super upset. Game 1, up 1-0. Good start. They even it up. 2-1. Okay. Do not lose to this team. Do not lose to this team. I will literally, yeah, I was about to say, if I lose to this team, I'm going to be freaking mad. But now, we get the Cavaliers, which have a good lineup. Now, this team, I could maybe understand losing to, but that Lakers team would not have understood. But now we get the Cavaliers. So, game 1, we're up 1-0. Game 2, 2-0. 3-0, please. Yes, and can we win a championship with the Rockets? Let's go, baby. Just like that, we have completely, almost, other than Sadiq Bey, we have built the Rockets entirely through the draft. Things kind of went our way. We got number 1 and number 2 in this video. Can't complain too much about that. It does suck that we traded Kevin Porter Jr., but Jalen Green averaged 36 points per game, shooting 57% from 3. This man is going to get a contract of his life. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about that today, though, because I'm going to end it there, man. That is going to be the end of the video. We're going to end off on a high note. Wembanyama, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Sadiq Bey, Şengün. What more could you possibly want? This is a really good lineup in Houston. If this is the draft, how the draft can go for them next year, if they're very bad and they get Wembanyama on the board, they're going to be happy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Definitely drop a like if you did. This is Crushables. I'll be back tomorrow saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.